What's up, guys? It's the first video on the channel. This is probably going to be a bit weird because it is just, this channel is going to be very, very raw videos, no editing, straight to the point, basically just me sat here talking, right? There's going to be little to no editing. But essentially what I'm doing in this first video is I'm going to be explaining how I took a channel from a completely fresh new channel, from 0 subscribers, and obviously $0, all of that, to over $15,000 in little over a month. So basically I started the channel. I will have to do a bit of editing because I'll have to put screenshots and stuff up on the screen for proof. But I basically uploaded the first video on the channel on the 18th of May, in 2026. So like I said, a little over a month ago. And today is the 30th of June 2026 when I'm recording this, and the channel has brought me in over $15,117 in little over a month, and the channel got monetized on the 2nd of June. So it's actually only been, I was going to say 28 days. It hasn't even been 28 days because obviously it takes a while for YouTube to update stuff. So this is what, 26 days? Hang on. Yeah, 26 days of monetization, I think. So 26 days of monetization, over $15,000 from a completely fresh channel, which is crazy. To think you can literally go from making nothing to making that in such a short span of time just shows you the power of YouTube automation. So make sure you DM me freedom. No, I'm joking. I'm not here to sell a course, nothing like that. I'm basically just creating this channel to share my journey, and maybe in the future I'll have some type of mentorship to help people. I don't know, but obviously I would need to put thought and effort into that. I'm not just trying to sell some shitty course to make some quick money. I would need to actually sit down and work that all out. So that's not happening just yet, but maybe in the future. Maybe in the future you will be DMing me freedom for financial freedom, but not just yet. But yeah, channel got monetized on the 2nd of June, and 30th of June it's made over $15,000. Like I was saying, that is insane. To think you can literally go from that to that quickly shows you the power of YouTube automation. So in this video, I'm basically going to be explaining how I did it. So the first thing you need to do when starting a YouTube automation channel is obviously find a niche. So when looking for a niche, I think the key for me is there's different ways you can go about finding a niche, really. Like, there's always going to be those niches that are trending that you can hop in quickly for a quick bit of money, but they won't necessarily have the longevity like certain stuff that's trending. So for example, I remember a fair few years back now, I think it was 2022, there was like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Is that her name? I think that's her name. Or maybe I've got that wrong, I don't know. But I think it was like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Why do I feel like that name's wrong? I don't know. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard court trial. Crazy views. Obviously it only went on for like a couple of months, but for those select channels that were posting news videos on that in that 2-month period, oh my god, they're probably like living on an island somewhere. Hopefully not a dodgy one. But yeah, just, there's always going to be those niches where things pop up, people are making videos on it, and they make a lot of money within a short period of time. But like I said, they're not really sustainable. But don't get me wrong, still worth going into those niches. Definitely still worth going into those niches. Because realistically, if you can go into a niche quickly and make 20, 30k in a couple of months and then dip, you've still made 20, 30k in a couple of months and dipped. So definitely still keeping your eyes peeled for those sort of things. But then there's also more evergreen niches. So I would say the channel that I'm in now, the one that I'm talking about now, that made 15k in just over a month, that's more of an evergreen niche. Yeah, it's definitely an evergreen niche. I don't know why I'm saying that's more of an evergreen niche. It is an evergreen niche. So the good thing about that as well is channels will pick up the videos. The older videos are more likely to pick up views over time. So like, I still have videos now on this channel that I uploaded a month ago that are still bringing me in a good chunk of money every day. Whereas if it was more of like a trend-based channel, a news-based channel, then they don't bring you in new. You get the odd video that will keep going up views, but most of the time it will be like they'll get views for a week or a few days and then they'll dry out and you need to upload new videos. Whereas evergreen, the videos that you've uploaded in the last 2 weeks could be not doing too great, but you could still be making a good chunk of money just based off the past content you uploaded. So for me, evergreen is the way. Evergreen is the way, but don't make that completely... Don't make that... Can I speak? Like, what am I actually doing? Don't make that make you completely turn your head away from trend-based stuff, because it's definitely worth jumping in it if you think you can make a good chunk of money in a short period of time. So obviously picking your niche is the first thing you need to do. You also need to look at how saturated the niche is. Obviously, me and my friend were talking about this the other day. Saturation is a thing, but there are certain niches where even if they're saturated, there's like a creative element or something you can add in there to stand out from the saturation. But then there's some niches where there's only a certain amount of stuff you can do, if you get what I mean. That's how I feel anyway. I might be wrong, but that's just how I feel from experience. So like, for example, celebrity news, right? Celebrity news niche, I feel like there's only a certain amount you can do. It's quite a saturated niche. You can still get good views in the celebrity news niche, don't get me wrong. But it is quite a saturated niche, and there's not really much you can add to stand out from the rest with celebrity news. It's just people are there to watch the celebrity news. You can make your editing a bit better, but it's just celebrity news. There's not really much creativity there. Where if it's a different niche, that's a bit more advanced and the content isn't as basic AI spammy content, then you can add something to it to make yourself stand out. So yeah, you have got to look at that as well to a certain extent, like how saturated the niche are. There are certain niches that are just so saturated, especially with AI now coming through and people being able to do literally everything with AI. Some niches are just cooked with AI content, completely cooked. And I feel like it also low-key has, again, I might be wrong, I'm not claiming to be some type of YouTube expert, I'm just speaking from my experience. But I feel like it also kind of has an impact on how the other videos get pushed out. If there's like loads of content in this niche that's all like AI spammy, and yours isn't, but other people's are, and there's loads of it, I feel like, and your videos are like packaged in the same way, even though the video itself isn't like that, I feel like it kind of stops YouTube from pushing it out, because there's just so much spammy stuff they're trying to not push out, and it blends in with it. Do you know what I mean? So don't know what I just said. Do you know what I mean? Like someone's speaking to me. Literally, no one's speaking to me. That wasn't me farting, by the way. That was my chair. But yeah, anyway, getting past the first point. God, this might be a long video. Sorry, I'm actually waffling. Just get some food or something, get a drink, and just put this on in the background. But yeah, obviously, you sort out the niche, and then you move on to the content production side of things. So you got two options. My mum's calling me. Be right back. I'm definitely gonna have to edit this video now. Apologies about that. Hopefully I don't have to go again, but I think Mum might call me back in a minute. But yeah, God, I completely forgot where we were now. Content production. Oh yeah, so you got two options. So obviously, with channels I start now, I am lucky enough to have some type of capital that I can dip into, and even though I'm not making money from that channel, I can invest it into the content production. Whereas obviously at the start, unless you've got money from another job or some other type of income, then you're gonna have to do everything by yourself, which is what I had to do right at the start. Because I started YouTube automation. Like, I mean, I've been doing YouTube since I was like 10, and I'm 22 now. But YouTube automation, the actual business side of things, and doing it to make money instead of just purely being a passion project, I started in 2021 or 2022, so 4 or 5 years ago, give or take. And obviously at the time, like I said, I didn't have the income to invest. So obviously I was making all the content by myself. So at the start, it can be difficult, I'm not going to lie. But once you get past that point where you're not having to make the content by yourself and you can outsource it, it's amazing. Because obviously if you have like a massive empire of channels and you're trying to run loads of different channels, it does take a lot of time. But running like a singular channel like this one that I'm... Pretty professional this is. What a video so far. Honestly, this video is so unprofessional. Apologies. What I was saying anyway is originally, obviously, I didn't have the money to invest in the content, so I had to make it all by myself. But once you get past that point of making the content by yourself and you can outsource it, it really doesn't take much time at all, especially for a singular channel. Like the channel I'm talking about in today's video that made me 15k in a month. Did it? It made me 15k in a month. I should have told you. It's not like I've already said that like 5 times. Anyway, yeah, that channel, it's really not taking me long to run at all. Like 2 hours a day, I would say. So you're looking at 14 hours a week. And with it being evergreen, you can schedule stuff ahead as well. So at the moment, I'm just doing it day by day. But if I really wanted to, you know, I could do all that work in a day or two for the week and worry about other stuff, enjoy my life, or worry about other channels, whatever. So it's really not time consuming at all once you get to the point where you can outsource content. But when you're at the point where you have to make the content yourself, it is a grind. It really is a grind. I'm not going to be one of these people who sit here and say that it's easy, because it's not. I had to make the content. I mean, if we're looking, I'm not looking at like the YouTube content I used to make way back. I'm talking about YouTube automation solely. But YouTube automation solely, I had to make the content by myself for, you know, a solid 2-year period where I was just making the content by myself, and it was a grind. Especially, I guess it kind of depends what niche you're in. But at the start, I was in a news-based niche, and I was having to get videos out really quickly based on the news, and it was a grind. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say it was easy, because it wasn't. I was on holiday with my parents, and like I was staying back on my laptop and not going out with them when bloody hell, my voice, not going out with them when we were on holiday, because I was making videos on like the news-based stuff, because you literally have to get stuff out ASAP, otherwise the competitors get stuff out before you, they get all the views, you get none. So again, it depends what niche you're in though. Obviously it would still be a grind, but if you're in an evergreen niche, you'd be able to schedule stuff ahead and there'll be more of a schedule there, so it'd be a bit easier to manage. But at the time anyway, like, I enjoyed the process of it, so I wasn't bothered, you know. I could have done it in a way where I was easier, I think, but I don't know, I just enjoyed it. So I keep forgetting where I was. Oh yeah, talking about the content. So yeah, you can either hire a team if you've got the money there, or make the content yourself. And then obviously, once you start doing that, you upload the videos. And yeah, you just got to take it video by video and study the graphs. The two most important stats in terms of video getting pushed out are the CTR, which is the click-through rate, which is essentially, why can I not speak today? Essentially, the percentage of people that see your video as like an impression, like the percentage of them that click on it, if that makes sense. That's the CTR. So, and then you've got the AVD, which is the average view duration, which obviously balances out to an average the percentage that people watch your video for. Those are the two most important stats. So it really is as simple as that. When you're uploading, you just got to study these two metrics, and obviously they vary niche per niche, because there's going to be certain niches where the average is higher, you know, for CTR. So for example, with click-through rate, the click-through rate average in a niche that's like a trending news niche is going to be higher than someone who's making evergreen videos on space, for example, because, you know, there's going to be more people that will click on a video that's like trending news, that are going to be like, you know what I mean? There's more of a drive there. Hopefully you know what I'm saying. There's more of like a drive for them to click on that and watch it quickly, as opposed to an evergreen video. So AVD and CTR varies based on what niche it is. But those are the two. It's as simple as that when it comes down to posting videos and how to get pushed. Those are the two stats you need to focus on. You really need to focus on AVD and CTR, and you just need to study those graphs as you upload. Study the CTR. Try different styles of thumbnails. Obviously, the CTR isn't just solely based on the thumbnail. Obviously, it's based on the title as well. So it might be your title. Don't just always think like, oh, it must be my thumbnail as to why the CTR is bad. It might be the idea. The title might not be good enough. So you've got to look at those kind of things. Look at what formats work, you know. And same thing with AVD, you know, different editing styles, different ways to script the video. You've got to look at all these things and look at what's getting you a higher percentage. So those are really, it is as simple as that. Those are the two key things you need to look at when it comes down to, you know, getting your videos pushed. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. Like, obviously there are things that I'm probably missing, like more in-depth things, but that's just a brief summary for the people that are like wanting to start a YouTube automation channel and want to know what it's all about. That is the brief summary. But then if you want to go more in depth, you can also look at stuff like, when going into a niche, obviously you want to go into a niche that has a high RPM. You've got CPM and RPM. RPM is what you need to worry about. Everyone always talks about CPM. I don't care about that because that's the money before YouTube take a cut from it or whatever. I don't care about that. RPM is the money you are getting paid per 1,000 views. So ignore CPM, look at RPM. Obviously you want to go into a niche that has a high RPM, because you could go into a niche where you have a $2.50 RPM. So $2.50 per 1,000 views, and then you could go into a different niche where you have a $8 RPM. And even though you're getting way more views in the niche where you got a $2.50 RPM, you would be making more money in the other niche because you got an $8 RPM. So it's not always just about views. You've got to look at the quality of the niche as well. And in terms of what gets you a good RPM, first of all, the niche has to be like advertiser friendly. But then also you got to look at the geographical stats. I think that's the word. So you want to get as big of a US audience as you possibly can. The higher percentage you have of a US audience, you're looking at the higher RPM. So that's normally what I go for. And then you also want to look at an older, more mature audience, because obviously if they're younger, then advertisers aren't likely to pay as much to put their adverts on those videos, because it's just a bunch of little kids that aren't going to care about adverts. So you got to worry about that as well. But yeah, obviously, like I said, this has been my first video, and I've just been waffling, to be fair. I don't know, if you're still around and you're still watching this somehow, then I really appreciate it. Like I said, I don't know if this channel will ever pick up crazy views or anything. I'm just kind of using it to document stuff. And maybe if we build some type of community on here that are interested in YouTube automation, I might end up actually making proper videos, and that will have a bit more of a structure to them, as opposed to me just sat here waffling. But for now, it's just kind of a personal thing for me to track where I'm at, and look back on in a year time, oh, that's what I was doing a year ago, whatever. But yeah, appreciate everyone for watching. If you're interested in YouTube automation and want to learn more, or just want to follow my journey or whatever, then I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like and subscribe. And yeah, take care, everyone.